It is so decided.
In 2015, nations committed to a bold vision to end poverty, protect the planet, and ensure peace and prosperity for all by 2030. These are the 17 Sustainable Development Goals, or the SDGs, a shared global blueprint for a better future. According to the 2025 UN SDG Progress Report, more than half of the world's population now benefits from some form of social protection. Child marriage and maternal and child mortality rates have declined. More young people, especially girls, are completing school. Internet connectivity has surged by 70%. Yet, a decade on and 5 years remaining, progress is visible but uneven. Only 35% of SDG targets are on track or making moderate progress. Nearly half are moving too slowly, and 18% are in reverse. Poverty has declined, yet persists in many regions and countries. Most strikingly, 800 million people remain trapped in extreme poverty. Increasing conflict, climate change, and inequality are slowing our collective momentum and making it difficult to move forward. Right here at home, progress is also taking shape. Between 2015 and 2023, Filipinos living in poverty declined by over 6 million, reflecting significant progress in poverty reduction. However, in 2023, about 1 in every 5, or 15.5% of the population, still earns below the minimum income needed to meet the basic needs. While gains have been made, they remain uneven across regions and provinces, and still prevalent in rural areas, among children, farmers, fisherfolk, and indigenous peoples. The journey toward inclusive development continues. But poverty goes beyond income. It's also about the lack of access to healthcare, education, safe drinking water, sanitation, and basic living standards. More importantly, it's about deprivations in human rights, the barriers that prevent people from living with dignity and opportunity. The SDGs are meant to address poverty in all its forms and dimensions. According to the updated 2024 Philippines SDG Pace of Progress, 10 out of 17 goals made some progress, although some fell short of what is expected for 2024. But gaps and challenges remain within each goal. What's needed now is a sharper focus on and targets and indicators that are off track or even regressing. With renewed commitment and accelerated action, these targets and indicators may still be within reach. The fight against hunger in the Philippines is hitting a wall. Malnutrition is declining, but far too slowly. Children and adolescents continue to face the triple burden of stunting, wasting, and obesity, driven by poor diets, limited access to healthy food, and deep-rooted poverty. While household food security appears on track, it starkly contrasts with the regression in nutritional intake. Only 26.3% of households met the recommended energy intake in 2023, down from 31% in 2015. To truly reduce hunger and improve health, nutrition programs must be scaled up, sharpened, and relentlessly focused. All is not well in people's health and well-being. Non-communicable diseases, or NCDs, such as heart disease, cancer, diabetes, and chronic respiratory illnesses, continue to claim lives across the country. Despite ongoing campaigns for healthier lifestyles, the numbers persist. In 2023, the mortality rate from NCDs among ages 30 to 70 stood at 5%, barely changed from 4.8% in 2015. Both men and women face the same grim trend: stagnant or rising death rates. Communicable diseases tell a similar story. The aim is to end epidemics of HIV or AIDS, tuberculosis, malaria, and neglected tropical diseases by 2030. The reality is, we're falling behind. HIV cases are surging. In 2023, the rate of new infections reached 0.24 per 1,000 population. That's 24 per 100,000 people, more than double the rate a decade ago. The rise is quite sharp among individuals aged 18 to 19 years old. While increased testing may partly explain the spike, it may also be masking a deeper crisis. Tuberculosis remains a relentless public health challenge, one that has plagued the Philippines for decades. Post-pandemic data shows a sharp, steady increase in TB incidence. Meanwhile, malaria, a disease that is both preventable and treatable, continues to burden vulnerable communities. The recent 41% surge in malaria cases between 2023 and 2024 marks an alarming milestone, calling for urgent action. Essential medicine availability in public health facilities declined from 65% in 2016 to just 50% by 2022, falling significantly below the baseline and away from the target. This downward trend exposes a critical gap in our healthcare system and severely undermines efforts to combat life-threatening illnesses.
Education shows encouraging progress in several areas, yet critical gaps persist. Early childhood education, despite its proven impact on learning outcomes and long-term benefits, remains underdeveloped and unevenly accessible. At the other end, TVET programs continue to lag in relevance and reach, limiting their impact on workforce readiness. Basic literacy remains strong in 2024, with 9 in 10 Filipinos aged 5 and above are able to read, write a simple message with understanding, and to do basic math. However, in the 2024 Functional Literacy and Mass Media Survey, based on the new definition of functional literacy, the rate is only 7 in 10 Filipinos aged 10 and above. Across both indicators, at least 11 out of 18 regions fall below the national average, and higher literacy rates are concentrated in traditionally progressive areas. To close these gaps and ensure inclusive, lifelong learning, region-targeted education interventions starting from early childhood must be accelerated.
Access to basic drinking water in the Philippines is steadily improving, rising from 91% in 2017 to 97.5% in 2024, nearing the 2030 target. Although in 2024, more than half of Filipino families, or 53.1%, now have access to safely managed drinking water from improved sources. While water quality testing was not conducted, the data reflects paid water from community systems piped directly into households. Yet, sanitation and hygiene remain significantly behind and far from meeting the targets. Regional disparities persist, underscoring the urgent need for more equitable investments in water, sanitation, and hygiene services.
COVID-19 caused the country's most severe economic disruption in decades, with lockdowns, business closures, and travel restrictions crippling key industries. While recovery is underway and the country is progressing toward middle-income status, challenges persist. Real GDP per capita growth registered at 4.8% in 2024, well below the 2030 target of 6.2%. Manufacturing value added in the B-Coal region and employment in BARM continue to decline. Still, there are signs of progress. Unemployment dropped from a peak of 10.3% in 2020 to just 3.8% in 2024. The unemployment data for 2024 indicates a recovery to levels nearly equivalent to the pre-pandemic years, nearing target levels and reflecting a strong labor market rebound. Youth not in education, employment, or training
or NEET, and child labor rates have significantly decreased, indicating improved participation in education and the labor force.
The country is also making strides toward affordable and clean energy. Energy intensity is steadily declining, signaling more economic output with less energy use, and progress toward the 2030 target. Access to electricity is also rising, from 90% in 2015 to 95% in 2024, and clean fuel use has grown from 49% in 2017 to 58% in 2022. But challenges remain. Millions still lack reliable electricity and clean energy, and renewable energy consumption is slipping. To meet national targets and ensure sustainable progress, urgent investments in inclusive, clean, and resilient energy are needed, especially for underserved communities. While the country still struggles with peace, order, and justice amid past violence and unrest, some gains are emerging. Intentional homicides dropped from 12 per 100,000 in 2016 to 4 in 2024, already surpassing the 2030 target of 5.9. Index crime rates fell from 16.5 per 100,000 in 2015 to 2.7 in 2024. More families now feel safer at night, and reports of bribery are said to be declining. These show stronger crime prevention, better policing, and growing public trust. But urgent questions remain. How many go unreported? How many find justice? Behind the numbers, stories stay unseen. To secure peace and justice, we need transparent data, swift accountability, and systems that protect all Filipinos.
Across the country, climate change and natural disasters strike harder, faster, and with growing unpredictability, putting lives, livelihoods, and development gains at risk. From 2017 to 2022, at least 15 tropical cyclones entered the country, but even without typhoons, heavier, more frequent rainfall drives flooding in both urban and rural areas. In 2024, 27,300 people per 100,000 were directly affected by disasters. While numbers vary year to year, the threat endures and is expected to grow. Flooding is no longer seasonal. Beyond property, children miss school, workers lose income, and services stall. Urgent, inclusive, and transparent climate-resilient solutions are needed, protecting at-risk communities, lives, and services. While progress has been achieved, persistent issues hinder effective monitoring of the SDGs in the Philippines. To make progress, we need data with disaggregation, timely, meaningful, and used for evidence-based planning and decision-making. Here's how we can get there. Fully support, finance, and implement the Philippine Statistical Development Program. Promote stronger integration of national surveys and improve complementation between surveys, administrative records, and other data sources. Ensure quality assurance in the data produced by the various data-producing agencies in the Philippine statistical system. Maximize the community-based monitoring system to facilitate SDG localization. Explore how big data and citizen-generated data can be used to complement official statistics. Adopt modern tools and methods for better monitoring. Champion open data principles. Capacitate data users and program planners. As we move forward, let's all be guided by the pace of SDG progress, each color a reminder, each one a call to action. Green. Go. Keep the momentum, build on what works, and keep moving forward, together, with purpose. Yellow. Accelerate. Progress is happening, but urgency matters. Let's move faster, smarter, and more decisively. Red. Rethink. Pause and reflect. Reassess priorities, retool strategies, and strengthen interventions where progress has slowed. As we stand at this critical juncture toward the 2030 agenda, one truth is clear. We cannot improve what we do not measure. Data is not just numbers. It is direction. It is accountability. It is action. With the right data in place, we can transform our decisions, policies, and actions so that no one is left behind. We have 5 years left. That's 5 years to act with urgency, unity, and purpose. Let us move forward, faster, and together, and deliver the SDGs for all.